Hey guys, Mrs. Tupper here. I'm just coming in to talk to y'all a little bit about active and passive voice. I know there was some struggle with that. There usually is. So, I'm in Schoology under the Sun Parlor worksheets, and this one is called Conventions. Right? So let's take a look at that. Okay, so one of the biggest problems we have with active and passive voice is a lot of people think passive equals past tense. It's not the same thing. Past tense is taking a verb and putting like an ed on the end, right? I walked, I jogged, right? She breathed, past tense. Not the same thing. Passive voice is different. So active voice is when we have a subject performing an action, right? I just said some of those things. I went, they walked, she swept, active, right? With the person and what they're doing. It's passive voice when we move the subject in the wrong place, or to the beginning of the sentence. All of a sudden, the subject is something that's having something done to it. That sounds weird. This is why we don't use passive voice. When you read it, you can hear it. It's strange. We don't normally talk this way, right? So the reason why we look at this is because we want to have stronger sentences. We don't want to fall into passive voice. Let's take a look. So the first example, the active voice. The parents taught their children to be obedient. We have the parents teaching. Subject, verb. Beautiful. Passive voice. The children were taught by their parents to be obedient. Well, the children, okay, that's a little better, right? We have a subject, but we're taught. They're not the ones teaching, so why are they at the front of the sentence, right? We're going to switch those around to have that make sense. The parents taught their children. It also makes us not have to add extra words. That word were there, right? Were and was and by. Whenever we have that passive voice, we always have to add extra verbs, little helping linking verbs to make it work. Second example, many visitors admired the beautiful house. Right? The visitors are the ones admiring. Subject, verb, active. The beautiful house was admired by many visitors. Okay. This might be acceptable sometimes if you really want the focus on the house, but the house isn't the one doing the admiring, right? It's having something done to it. It's passive, so it needs to be, again, the top one, right? Many visitors admired. Okay. So I know one that some people got stuck on was number 3, down here in B. The Sun Parlor was monitored for smudges and scuff marks. It's because there's not a subject, right? There's not a subject doing, I should say. There's a subject having something done to it. The Sun Parlor is being monitored, but we don't know who or what is monitoring. So to fix this sentence, you have to tell me who or what is doing the monitoring. The technicians monitored, he monitored, she monitored, I monitored. You have to fill it in, right? You have to be a little creative with that one. That's why that one's so difficult. If you are still struggling with active and passive voice, I'm just going to pop in a no red ink here. You can click on lessons, and the very first one that comes up, active and passive voice. Right? You can click through and view all of the notes we've taken before, right? You've done these, and you can practice. You've done these practices before too. The ones that'll probably help you the most with this worksheet if you're really struggling, active or passive voice 1 helps you identify which is which. And then creating active voice sentences, right? This is where we rearrange things, right? We move the doer to the front of the sentence and the subject having something done to it later on in the sentence. And we also drop all those little helpy verbs you can see here, are and were and will be, because we don't need them when we go to active voice. I hope that makes some sense. I hope that helps you out, guys. Have a great day, and then I will be back to see you on Monday.